Have you ever completely wanted to nuke your entire game? Well, do I have the mod for you. This week's showcase mod is More TNT by Tsunami Studios. It is actually a really well made mod, and my favorite part, it's completely free. If you have Bedrock Edition, you can go to the marketplace right now, you can look up More TNT, completely free, and you can download it. It's got 4.8 stars with 400,000 individual reviews. That is actually really good. That just speaks for the quality of it without having to even show you the mod, but I still will do that anyway, obviously. Let's talk installation. Now, this is a marketplace mod, which means it's super simple. All you have to do is create a new world, go down to your experimental tab, turn on everything. I do this anyway. If you're playing with mods, you should just do this as a just a good thing to do, really. Then you just flick over to the experimental tab. I've got a lot of mods. Ignore all of this. You go find more TNT add-on, as you can see here. That's the image for it. Should be that one. And boom, it's activated just like that. The mod's downloaded. It's super easy. It works the same on console and mobile as well. Now, how about we talk about what happens straight off the bat when you load into a world? You get this lovely book, and this will show you how the mod works in a written format, but I know for a lot of people that's actually not very useful. So this video will also help you with that. The book lists what each thing does as well as the recipe, but you can also find the recipe in the crafting tables. So if I just place down this crafting table here, this will show us all the different crafting recipes. And they're really, honestly, not that hard to make. I don't think any of these are crazy hard to make. So I guess we can just go through each one and I can show you what is required to make it and what they do. So every single item that you see here, all the different TNT types, they all require Ultra TNT, which is really simple to craft. It's just your normal TNT mixed with an Ultra powder, which is also very simple to make. It's only a redstone dust and one gunpowder. That is super simple, and just like that, we have our first thing to show off, which is the Ultra TNT. So I'm down here in this field because I wanted to get away from the snow to do this, but we can test out the first TNT, which is the Ultra TNT. And let's see how much bigger it is than a normal piece of TNT. And just like normal TNT, uses flint and... Wow, I was standing too close. That's good to know. This is a big area just from one singular TNT mixed with one redstone and one gunpowder. That's actually pretty cool. I just want to quickly show you what a normal TNT does. So everyone knows the normal TNT. It's not that big of a blast. It's still a pretty decent sized versus this, which was just a tiny bit extra. I think it might be a little bit overpowered, but hey, that's up to you to decide. If you're downloading this mod, you want the destruction. One other thing I also need to mention, you will not get all the blocks. Unlike when TNT blows something up, you will not get a 100% drop rate. This will only drop, I don't know the exact number, but it seems to be around the 25% mark. So I just wanted to quickly test out the Ultra TNT versus fully enchanted netherite gear. So this is all protection for enchantments. And let's see if this is enough to kill you. Now a normal TNT would not. So the Ultra TNT does. That's crazy. So if you can tell by this point, this is a very destruction heavy mod. These TNT are a lot of destruction. There are some more focused on PvP, but we'll get to those later. Let's move on to our next TNT, shall we? Why don't we start out with one of the PvP ones that I was talking about? And this is the throwable TNT, which is just the Ultra TNT mixed with an egg. This would be pretty strong if you were playing on a server with your mates. How about I show you what would happen to this chicken? If I just throw that up there, it lived? I can't lie. I really thought that I was going to do more. Let's try it on this pig over here, shall we? Catch. Oh, step. It killed it. I thought it wasn't going to kill it for a second. Try it on the pig. It did kill the pig. Let's try it on ourselves without the armor, shall we? If we just throw that at our feet. Oh, kind of went into the ground there. Oh, it does kill you if you're unarmored. But as you saw before, when I had armor on, it doesn't quite kill you. Next up, we have the Lucky TNT, which is used with a rabbit's foot and the Ultra TNT. All of these will use the Ultra TNT. I believe I said that before, but I just want to reiterate that. The lucky TNT is just like a lucky block, but in TNT. What the hell? Now that that's all cleared up, I can go back to showing you the lucky TNT. So if we just use a flint and steel on that, we could get good or bad results, which that is a bad result. If I wasn't wearing this armor, that could have been bad. Whoa, I didn't know that did so much durability to the helmet. That's pretty cool game design, I reckon. Let's do another one. See if we can get anything cool. Just don't forget, you gotta use the flint and steel. I always forget that one. Ooh, that's some good PvP kit. I could probably make a fun video with my mates playing with these lucky TNTs. Let's do another one. Oh, I missed. Don't know how that happened. See, something good, something good. Fish. That's a pretty bad drop. Let's go again. I'm feeling lucky, I'm feeling lucky. What? Well, I think that's a good segue to move on to the rocket TNT. As you can see here, rocket TNT is the Ultra TNT and the Firework rocket. Now this one has a really cool model in your hand. The model in the inventory is a bit lame, just a block, but in your hand, it's pretty cool. Now how does this one work? Well, I mean, you got a bit of a spoiler already, but all you can do is you right click it and all of a sudden, it takes off into the sky and it explodes. It's pretty useless if I'm being honest. You might be able to use it if you're in a cave or something, but that's pretty limited. Maybe if someone's built like a sky base, you can blow up their sky base, but it's a pretty boring one if I'm being honest. We can just move on to the next. Next up is the Toxic TNT, which is one spider eye, and the Ultra TNT, of course. This one is a very simple to make one if I'm being honest. And we are going to test it on this horse right here. Goodbye. An insta-kill is pretty strong. I think we need to test on something a bit bigger. Okay, there we go. I got to spawn this time. Let's try this before it messes me up. Oh, I think I might have placed 2 TNT there by accident. I did. Oh, that does barely any damage to that guy. Seems like it's doing more damage to me. I'm gonna have to kill this guy with a command. As you saw by that absolute blunder, the Toxic TNT is not the strongest, but I think the main strength, if I can light it, what is wrong? There we go. The main caveat to it, that's a big word, is if you go into this area, you get poisoning. And a pretty strong one, you get poisoning 3 for the entire time that this is lingering. And it lingers for a pretty long while. There we go, it just went away there, I think. Yep. So, obviously I'm in protection 4 armor, so I didn't do too much, but if you were not wearing any armor, that's pretty deadly to you. Next on the list is the Lava TNT, which you would never guess. You use a lava bucket to make it. What? Who could have guessed that? This TNT, it's very good for people who like griefing. Because all you have to do is light that bad boy and run away and, say someone's base is right there. Not anymore. That's going to be a pain to repair. Now, this could also be very useful to kill different mobs and stuff. If you're, I don't know, maybe in a bastion, you want to kill some brutes, you could use that. Or maybe you're playing a modded world and there's a mob boss. Probably just use that and cheese the boss using the lava. That's not a bad idea. As you can see, it has a pretty strong explosion, but it's about the same as the Ultra TNT. Maybe a bit smaller, actually, looking at it side by side. Probably a bit smaller. Overall, though, that lava TNT, that's a pretty strong one, and a lot of people would love to use that against their friends. I know I would. Moving on swiftly, we got the Nether TNT, which takes a flint steel and the Ultra TNT, of course. Now, this one I have seen before, and it is very strong. So I'm going to run pretty far away so you can see the proper destruction it causes. This is probably best utilized in like a forest, somewhere where there's a lot of wood. So I think I'll show you that after. But if we just place this down, you might get a little hint by all the blazes, but... Oh, I missed. That's embarrassing. There we go. This is going to be a pretty big explosion with a hell of a lot of fire. And as you can see, it's caught me on fire. And as you can see here, it's a much... it's deeper, but not as wide as the Ultra TNT. But there is fire everywhere. Next up, we got the Trap TNT. which uses a tripwire hook and Ultra TNT, of course. But this one is a lot different to the other ones. I don't actually have to light this one on fire. This is something, you would place this around your base and it's basically just a landmine. So if any players, they come wandering around over near your base, boom, little explosion. As you can see there, that actually did a decent number of hearts. Next up, Sonic TNT, which is obviously the Ultra TNT as well as an Echo Shot. Now, sadly, for all you destruction lovers, this TNT might not be one you like too much. But if we just come next to this sheep and light that up, as you can see here, that sheep is no longer living. So the Sonic TNT doesn't do any damage to any nearby structures or anything like that. It's purely just based on damage. So maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. I'm not a big fan because what's the point of having TNT if it doesn't do something? Next up, we got the Shockwave TNT, which is redstone and an Ultra TNT. Most of these TNTs I have tested myself in another world because I was curious, but this one I haven't. So I'm ready to see what this does. And already, I just want to speak about this one. This one has a very cool design. Maybe that's just because I'm a redstone guy, but let's light it. Oh, that's a cool animation. It's like a perfect circle. That could actually be, this could be actually be a very useful tool if you're trying to dig a very neat hole downwards. As you can see, this could be a very useful tool if you want to make a very, very nice hole that just goes straight down. Sadly, it doesn't drop the blocks, so it's a bit of a win-lose situation, so you don't actually get the blocks you're mining with this, but it could be good if you're trying to build something. I actually really like this. Next up, we got the Proximity TNT, which is a hell of a lot of gunpowder and an Ultra TNT. As you've probably noticed, this TNT is a hell of a lot different to all the other TNT. And this is why I'm probably going to need to run away from this pretty far. As you can see, that absolutely shoots out extra TNT. And it's kind of bad, if I'm being honest, because that TNT tends to just land in the same area, which, to be honest, it's not that useful. If it's PvP based, you'd want it to fly out in every direction so you can place it, and no matter which way people run, they're going to get hit by it. But nope, it goes up and lands back down. It's pretty useless, if I'm being honest. Now we've got the Polar TNT, which is a snowball, and an Ultra TNT. Now this one, I believe, only affects mobs and doesn't actually blow anything up. If we just use that, it should. Yep. Oh, it's done it to me. But it has frozen everyone in ice, and now I'm drowning. Oh my god, this is actually a really OP. There we go. Alright, I'm out. As you can see there, everyone gets trapped in ice, which is probably a very good one if you're trying to troll some friends. All you gotta do is grab one of these, place it next to everyone, and they all get frozen in. I could think of some funny clips that are made from this. Now we've got the Implosion TNT, which is an Amethyst Shard and an Ultra TNT. Now, if you've got a keen ear, you would have realized I said Implosion. That's weird. I thought this was TNT. That's meant to explode. Well, you're clever, because this bad boy does quite the opposite. But it's not what you think. That's right, it sucks everything in. It doesn't blow out, it blows in. Oh, that's a weird thing to say. But this one is actually pretty decent. Oh, it looks like you actually get all the blocks it drops, which is a lot of blocks, holy. But as you saw there, it doesn't do too much if you've got full decked out gear, but still decently strong. Now we got the Gravity TNT, which is a shulker shell. And as you may be able to guess, this one plays with the gravity just a little bit. So here I have a pig friend, so how about we both use this one together, shall we? That's a very cool animation, and it's in a very nice sound. And as you can see, lifts everything up and drops it back down. But as you can see there, it doesn't actually throw you too high, so you can usually live, and especially if you have a water bucket, it's a very easy clutch to make. So overall, it's a pretty mid TNT. Now onto the Healing TNT, which costs 1 gold nugget, and the Ultra TNT. For this TNT, I'm actually going to need to use an old TNT to, do a little bit of damage to myself. That way this TNT can actually be used. Alright, now that we've lost some hearts, not too many, Oh my god, we got so many blocks. I'm gonna start lagging this world soon. But if we just place this down and use this, see how much healing it does, shall we? Boom, back up to full. As you can see here, I'm very low on HP, so let's see. Does this get me all the way back up to max? Is this healing TNT going to be worth it? Oh yeah, it is. So I reckon that if you're playing this mod, you should probably make a bunch of those and just have them on you. So if you're playing Bedrock Edition, you probably know healing in this game sucks. It's not like Java Edition. It's terrible. So this TNT is actually very useful. Now we have the Earthquake TNT, which takes an Iron Pickaxe and the Ultra TNT. Now I feel like this one will be best if I move a little bit away from all the destruction we've already made. I think this should do up here. Let's just give this bad boy a go. As you can see, very cool animation. Oh, as you can see, the ground around us starts to disappear randomly and we'll take bits of damage from any particles that hit us. But overall, the TNT is a little weak. Doesn't really do too much. Just shakes your screen a bit and breaks chunks of dirt and a bit of cobblestone. It drops a bunch of XP because it destroyed a bunch of coal. Our second to last TNT is the Disco TNT, which takes a note block and an Ultra TNT, of course. Now if we just go over next to these pigs right here, and we use this bad boy, we can have a look at what this TNT does. As you can see, that's just a little funny, goofy one. You know, you can boogie bomb your friends. I feel like that one's a fun one. It's very nice. It's a little different than everything else. You know, everything else leaves destruction and chaos everywhere. But that one's just a little fun. I like it. Probably my favorite. It is very funny. Last, but very much not least, it's the Colossal TNT, which is 9 Ultra TNT. Now this bad boy is a hell of a lot bigger if you look at the size. And you see, we go over here. You need to go third person. That's how big it is. Takes up half the screen. This was the original one. The normal TNT made this hole right here. I don't think I'm going to get away from this. So I'm going to have to switch over to creative because this TNT blast is so big, I'm not going to be able to run away in time. Now if I use that, I'm going to have to fly away even though I'm in creative. Because this blast is massive. As you can see there's a massive hole left by this TNT. It's utter chaos that you can make using this TNT. Also, I just wanted to say that I randomly loaded this seed and it is sick. It's got this nice area. It's got these amazing mountain peaks. And it's got, over in the distance there, it's got this absolutely beautiful mountain peaks. Like, look at that in the distance. We got a jungle biome right there, nice little lake there. This biome is beautiful. This seed is amazing. Oh, look, an island over there. This is amazing. Thank you all for watching all the way to the end. That was the entirety of More TNT by Tsunami Studios. I really, really recommend you download and play with this add-on. It's actually very, very well made. And it's free. It's free. But hey, I would appreciate it if you were to like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Every Sunday, 5 p.m. AEST. Figure it out yourself. Just Google it. It's not hard. Anyway, description below, there's the seed for this world, because that was an amazing seed, as well as the link to this very mod. Have a good one.
Go crazy. I be struggling to walk straight, still trying to order more drinks. Had way too much, I'm sinking. I be on the vibes while shorty wanna link shit, finna get wild blown loud. Give a fuck, y'all think I'm buzzed.